A very warm welcome back to the Football Martin channel. My name is Martin Sanders. I am your host here on the channel, and thank you very much for tuning in for some more Southampton content. It keeps coming thick and fast here on the channel. I want to keep talking about it. It's like therapy for me, so I really enjoy just sitting here chatting to you, and I love reading all your comments. I love it. So next week I'm going to do a live show, so you can come on and I'll get you guys involved as well. We'll pick out some key topics. I will select a day next week, and I would love to interact with you even more. I'm interacting a lot in the comments, but please do keep your comments coming. It makes a massive difference, and it's a community of fans, so it's amazing. So thank you every single one of you. I've done my instant reaction video already. Many of you have already seen that. I posted that instantly from coming out of Stamford Bridge on Tuesday night. It's very much in the moment. It's very much emotional. It's quite raw. I don't read loads when I'm in the ground. I read a little bit from Alfie House, Glenda the Core, and a few other people that I enjoy reading from. Rob Maddox has been one of those as well. I certain people I like to read from, fans. I enjoy their comments. I sometimes pop on the X feed at half time. It can be quite a toxic place, but it's interesting to get all your opinions, certainly after a game as well. In the game, I try and keep it so it's kind of my thought process and what I've seen, and then I try and react to it. Now I've had a chance to listen to Going Home with Adam and Joe. Total Saints podcast, absolutely immense. Make sure you go give those guys a follow. Great guys. And I listen to everything on the radio today on TalkSport. I've been on TalkSport today. They asked me a lot of questions about the season, where it's all gone wrong. We'll unravel that a bit in this show today on this podcast. But first and foremost, we need to look back on the game last night. We'll go over everything that happened. We'll look at all the stats around the game as well. I've been on Flash Score, so I've captured a few stats for you to bring into this show. Right, that team lineup. I said in my matchday vlog, if you've not seen it, go check it out. It was really passionate vlog. It was a vlog that captured everything on the night, really. It was one of my most enjoyable away ends actually to go to. It's worth taking a look at. Chelsea's a great place to go as an away fan. Southampton fans on the road are immense, by the way. Just so good on the road. We have the best fans. For me, I'm biased. I just think we have the best fans. They're just unbelievable. When you look at the lineup, everybody that was in that stadium, including myself, we were all so disappointed when we saw that starting 11. I was anyway. I didn't think for 1 minute he would go with Brie, Aribo and Bella Kotchap. I thought Harwood Bellis might have come back in. He was fit enough to play 45 minutes, so why is he not fit enough to play whole game? Don't think his injury was that bad. Aribo, left side centre-back. Brie, right side centre-back. Bella Kotchap's not played for like a year and a half. Starts his first game. He looks rusty. Aribo's an attacking midfielder that can't win headers particularly well. And not against the likes of Nkuku anyway. And then you've got Colwell coming up for corners. I just think it was a bit of I just don't like that back three. I like Aribo in midfield. I prefer him in midfield than I do where he's playing at the moment. It's just that back three. It just rip it up. It doesn't work in my opinion. We've shipped 8 goals in 2 games, so it clearly doesn't work. We shipped 20. Well, we'll look at all the stats around how many goals we shipped under Juric since he come in very, very shortly. Sigawara at right wing back takes so much away from Carl playing left wing back. Just doesn't suit him. He doesn't look happy. Loads of these players don't look happy. Walker Peters, Sigawara are not happy. There's no doubt about it. Aribo's given his all, but he's probably not happy playing there. Ramsdale must be just fuming, having to deal with what he's dealing with in front of him. Sunday League defending, I called it. Downs comes back into midfield after a layoff. He obviously wants to put an impression on the game. I actually thought for the first 20 minutes, him and Smallbone were really good. Loads of little link-up play. They had loads of time in midfield, though, and that was down to Fernandez and Caicedo not really being at it for Chelsea. Chelsea last night weren't that good, I didn't think. They weren't at it at all. And you watch it back. Sancho didn't really do a great deal, did he? Neto was a standout along with Nkuku. But Palmer didn't do a great deal. He had missed a couple of really good chances. But Fernandez and Caicedo were just like, they sit off a lot. And Saints had loads of space for the first 20 minutes. But they go in at half time and they're somehow 3-0 up. I'm like, they haven't even been that good and they're 3-0 up. It was ridiculous. But like I say, Smallbone and Downs have played quite well. Fernandes works really hard, but he's just like working on his own. Hard. He runs, Fernandes. And he gives it everything. I love watching him play, but boy, it must be so difficult for him and so disheartening because there's loads around him that don't run anywhere near as much. Silamana was half-arsed at times, and Unuachu should have scored. Header was really weak and didn't really test the goalkeeper with his only one real chance. But he has to come and defend for the third goal that we concede, the one that Levi Colwill scored from the header, from the set play. And Colwill gets in between somebody that can't head and defend like a set play on a big man is a Rebo against, Unuachu, who's 6'9". It should be winning the header. But then that just shows we've got a team, and let's be honest, and we said it on the channel a lot. They're not good enough for the Premier League, this team. They're not good enough. There's loads of players that are not good enough. I think there's a group that are, but I think there's a lot that are not. And that comes down to recruitment. The players aren't good enough. Joe Tessam said it on Going Home with Adam and Joe. He's correct. They're not good enough. I agree with him. He feels that we've got better under Juric. We've got worse, in my opinion, so I disagree with that. I don't think we've got better under him. We've not got harder to beat. That's for sure. We've let 8 in the last 2. And when we're like 2-0 down, we give up. And second half, we didn't really come out and give it a really good fight. And I find that annoying because I thought Chelsea were there to have a little bit of a go at last night. They were there to have a go at. If you've got round pegs in round holes. And that's what we need to do. You need to play players in their natural positions, not putting square pegs in round holes. Doesn't work. It just doesn't work. James Bree is probably a League One Championship right back, not a centre back in the Premier League playing up against Nkunku and Palmer and Sancho. And Neto, he's not. So give us the best possible chance. I said it in my instant reaction. Give us the best possible chance by playing your best players that are available in their best positions, and then give us a chance because it's hanging them. I said on my video yesterday, the instant reaction, that I thought it was hanging the players out to dry a little bit, and someone disagreed with it. And what I mean by that, and maybe it was I didn't say it how I wanted to say it. What I mean is he's not giving them the best opportunity to perform. Just like the formation doesn't work for me. And give me your thoughts, comments box below. I don't think the manager's got any charisma. He's got nothing about him that excites me. Him in the Championship next season, I really, really hope it doesn't happen because it does. We will be heading towards League One because we just will, because he doesn't know the league and you've got to galvanise a squad of players and bring people together to give yourself a chance. Right, statistics. They've been on your screen for quite a while now, so I need to read you the statistics. You've probably been, if you're watching on YouTube and in video format, you would have seen them already. If you're tuning in audio format, let's break it down. Chelsea 4, Southampton 0, as we know. Those match stats from Stamford Bridge are as follows. The expected goals for Southampton, 0.72. Just abysmal. 2.56 for Chelsea. Ball possession, 60-40. Chelsea with 60%. Goal attempts from Chelsea, 19 compared to ours, 7. Shots on goal, they're 10. We only had 7 goal attempts, 2 of those on target. Chelsea had 7 on target. Block shots, 2 for Chelsea, 2 for us. Then you look at the offsides, 2 for Chelsea, 2 for us. Ramsdale made a whopping 13 saves. Jeez, that's a lot of saves. He makes a lot of saves every week, doesn't he? He makes a lot of saves every week. I just think he's such a good goalkeeper, and without him, we would be absolutely lost without him. Throw-ins each. So we have, for Chelsea, they have 15. Southampton had 13 throw-ins. Then touches in the opposition box. 39 for Chelsea and just the 12 for Southampton. Nowhere near enough. And we don't offer anything going forward, do we? That's all your match stats on the screen there. If you're watching on YouTube, like I say, 13 saves at Ramsdale, 2 for the Chelsea goalkeeper, 6 fouls each. That wraps up all the statistics. I've done a player ratings video if you're a YouTube member. I've broken down the players, a non-PG version of this video really, but in a shorter format. If you want to go and check it out, it's not loads of money to become a member. I think it's £1.99. I'm just trying to... I've not got a sponsor for the channel yet, and that's one thing to put out there. If anybody is watching this, tuning in, and is interested in sponsoring their business or a product, I am absolutely looking for sponsors for the channel now to move it to the next level. I want to take this to the very next level in fan content. I want to take football fan content creation to the next level like you've not seen at any other club anywhere in the Premier League or in the Championship. I want to really elevate what I do, and I want to do it to a really, really high specification and make it look the best, have the best guests, but go out and meet people. Like, there's loads of podcast guests lined up, but doing it on Zoom is not what I want to do. I want to go and do it in person. And this is like, I don't make any money out of it. I'm doing this there's a love, but obviously I want to take it to the next level. So the next thing is to definitely get a sponsor. So anybody does want to get involved, please do drop me a DM. That's enough of promoting myself. Back to the last couple of weeks, it has been nothing short of a disaster. And after Ipswich, I kind of thought, you know what, we might just have we were going to maybe go on and get a couple of results, not turn the corner, but I just thought we showed a bit of fight and a bit of desire. And I was like, do you know what? I thought the players are playing for Juric, and now I'm at that stage and I'm thinking, do you know what? Are they playing for him? I'm not convinced, I'm not convinced. Had TalkSport asked me to do a bit for Total Saints podcast today on behalf of Total Saints, and they asked me a lot of questions, and they called it that I had slammed the ownership group. I've questioned the recruitment. I think when we talk about owners, because we need to talk about it, and we've been speaking about it a lot more recently, let's try and put it in a way that you have to be careful what you wish for. And there's no saying that the next owners are going to be any better than the current owners if they decide to sell. But they own the football club, so it's not... We can't force them out. It's going to be very, very difficult for fans to get them out. A lot of people are talking about protests. Look, they've put a lot of money into the football club, and without Dragan Solak, it would have been really difficult. He's put a lot of his own money in. They've invested loads of money into it. Unfortunately, they haven't had enough footballing people on the board in the footballing side of the business to make a really good job of it. Like Jason Wilcox, and they didn't replace him. And you really need a clear strategy of what you're going to do. I'm not convinced their strategy is quite right on the football side. They bought a lot of young players, first transfer window that Sport Republic had, with the view that they were going to build those players up and sell them on for a fee, like what we'd done with the academy, because there was such a big gap with the academy. And Rasmus Ankersen said that at the fans forum when Nathan Jones was the manager 2 years ago, that they needed to fill that void, and that's why they brought in Bazunu, Adozi, Lavia, and they brought in those type players, Sekumara. Just not all of them worked out. Larios was another one. And they brought those players in to try and develop them to sell them on. And they want to be one of these clubs that develop players. We're always going to be that sort of club. But you have to bring leaders in. You have to bring people with Premiership experience in. There's no doubt about that. I've said it loads. It's really important. You cannot have inexperienced people like on the board. And that's where it's gone wrong, unfortunately. And then we'll need to rectify it going forward. Otherwise, the plummet will be so big. The fall off will be so big. We've conceded 29 goals in 10 games under Juric. Is he really the man to see the season out? I want your thoughts on that. Sport Republic are going nowhere, in my opinion. And look, it's a difficult situation, and I know the fans are frustrated. I'm frustrated. I'm hurting. I'm annoyed at what's happened. But they have to learn really, really quickly. And can we trust them to get it right? I hope that they can get it right. I hope they can get it right. And I'm sure that Dragan Solak will be really, really annoyed. But when you looked at the start of this season, it was a little bit of a recipe for disaster. For me, the fans have been the biggest positive of the season because there isn't any others. They've been immense home and away. We've not been competitive on the field. Nearly any game we've not really been competitive. Not since Martin went. It's probably got worse. We've just gone from one extreme to the other in terms of the style of football. Defensively, we're still a horror show. We haven't sorted that out. But then we can't expect a lot when you've got Bree and Aribo playing there. And that falls upon the manager at this moment in time. can't keep criticising just the players, because the manager has something to do as well. The players, everybody needs to look in the mirror. The players, the manager, the staff, the owners, everybody that's involved are responsible for what's happened this season, other than the fans. The fans wanted Martin out, and rightly so, because it was was it rightly so? I get called out on that. I don't know. It wasn't working, but maybe it just should have put some Premier League experience around in, Premier League people. I thought Adam Lallana was brought in to do that, and it just didn't work out. I don't know why. I wonder what went on there. But I look at it more. I think the club will struggle to recover. I think the players will struggle to recover from this. The fans will. And it will scar. I talk about scar tissue. It will scar people for a long time that support this football club, what's happened this season. By the time we finish it, and how we can recover next season. The only positive, you look at what Sheffield United did last season, and you look at where they are now. They've recovered really well. So you have to look at that and think we need to do the same. But then on the other hand, you look at Luton and what Luton have done. It is a worry. It is a worry, but you just need the right people in the door, in my opinion. The worst Premier League, we were looking earlier. So 29 goals in 10 games. When you look at it, somebody put this on Saints Web yesterday. Over a 38 game season, what we're conceding at the moment, with this manager, we would, if he'd been here all season, with it as it is, and the season just started, somebody said we would have gone on to concede 110 goals. It's pretty much one of the worst in Premier League history, by the way. But it is truly how at the moment as a Saints fan. I'm finding it really, really difficult to deal with it. But I'm going to keep talking about it because, like I said to you at the start of the show, it's a little bit of therapy. We're going to wrap up the show now. The Premier League games are going on actually while I'm recording this, so I can't really look at the table now. We know where we are. We'll reflect upon it on Friday. I will do a show with my dad, coffee chat, and we'll reflect upon the table, what's happened this week, a bit of football chat. We'll talk about Saints and just bring my dad onto the show. I hope you've enjoyed this, the final word. If you're a Chelsea fan tuning in, thank you very much for all the love and the support around the Matchday vlog, your comments, your DMs, absolutely amazing. The same to the Albion fans as well. I've got a real nice affinity with the Albion fans after the weekend from my channel, because they were so nice. And look, I don't want to not watch Premier League football next year. I will watch Southampton because I love my club, but I still want the opportunity to go and watch Premier League football. And I will definitely go down to the Amex. I don't think I'll go down to the Cherries as much because it's hard to get a ticket. Don't particularly like us neither, but I will go down to the Amex, go to London a bit. I do want to watch Premier League football. It's hard, isn't it? Because whilst I want us to go back to the Championship, start winning, games again, all you want is to be watching your team against the best players in the world. And that's the most gutting thing. We dropped out for 1 year and we come back and we look so far away from where we used to be under Ralph. It's really, really sad to see. And it breaks my heart, and it will do you guys, where we're at right now. And we can only hope that it improves, and it will improve. Football goes in circles. That's going to wrap up my show. Southampton fans, you are absolutely incredible. You're amazing people. Thank you for your support. Make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe, share it with a friend if you haven't done so already. Share the content. One of the biggest Southampton fan channels now. I think it's the most watched fan channel at this moment in time when I've looked at the numbers recently. Not as many subscribers as others, but definitely growing. And it will only get bigger and it will only get better. And that will only happen with your support. I'll see you again soon. Have a great week. Thank you for tuning in.